Um, a while, can I? So yeah, it's been like what 2 months or so since I've streamed. I have no idea. Don't know exactly, but I'll just check. The last stream was 1 month ago, so kind of close enough to what I was guessing. But if you read the title, you guessed it. Today we're going to be streaming about something that's kind of been popular for like the past few months now, and that is the Amazing Spider-Man 3. I made a video on this like what, a few months ago, I think before No Way Home came out, and a few other films. But ever since No Way Home came out, which was amazing, people have kind of been wanting Andrew's third film that they definitely never got. Close to getting though, kinda.
That car crash looks bad. Hope no one's injured.
But honestly, after reading kind of like rumours about scripts, you might want to rethink your decision. Honestly, if you want to. I'll say a few things first. If they ever made Andrew's third film, they're going to need to change it massively. No offence, but the second film in the Andrew series for Spider-Man had a little bit too much going on. First thing was Peter's finding out secrets about his parents and in a train or subway, an abandoned subway kind of thing. Electro and how he's like one of the main bad guys just because he kind of forgot. We don't talk about that. We definitely don't talk about that. But alright, whatever just happened there. How'd you get there? Hang on a second. This is going to be hard to find. I definitely haven't played this in a while. Something today with like the webs, I guess, and controllers. It's like whenever you actually swing, you can hear it through your PlayStation camera speaker. That's kind of annoying. Hang on. Try this. I don't know what happened there. Sorry if I keep checking that. I don't know what it was. But anyway, so yeah, might as well begin our topic. So after the Amazing Spider-Man was, oh sorry, wrong bit. After they finished basically on Electro, they also wanted to focus on Gwen and Peter's relationship, then breaking up like 50,000 times or something, and eventually decides to like kind of get back together, which is a bad idea because we don't know how that went. Honestly, I'm in my back car watching the film. Probably know why. Another thing is Peter and Harry's relationship. That's kind of something that they focused on. And number 5, this one's kind of weird. Rhino barely got any screen time. He was one of the villains for like what, a minute or so. He appeared in like the last few minutes of the film, which is probably going to set up the third film. But yeah, the film kind of focused on a little bit of this and like a teeny bit of that. So yeah, you'd think that the third film would make the series a little bit better. Well, you're kind of wrong about that, because the way that was going would have made the film and like the second film even kind of worse. Now, I have kind of a list of rumours and leaks and all that were out like years ago, but alright. So, get into the first few. The story leaks. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 3. I would have liked to see it, but would yous? Unless they changed it up a little bit. So, yeah. The film was mainly meant to focus on pretty much two things, which honestly, in the mood of things, would be kind of a plot twist. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Peter quit being Spider-Man near the end after Gwen died for like, what, 5 months? Because it went all the way to Christmas, probably all the way back to spring. But after hearing Gwen's graduation speech, he became it for the city. Spider-Man again for the city. But we don't really see him fight the Rhino. All we see is him kind of like pitting Probably's like the Rhino horn off him, and then doing what else he can. But then the third film was about to have him at his absolute weakest. So you go for, oh, I'm going to be the person for the city too. Oh, I hate this life I'm living. His absolute weakest, and there was a few many things happening at that point. Peter's dad returning, new MJ, which makes no sense if that's a love interest. You think he'd learn Fate's lesson, like, don't let this person get involved, or else they'll surely die, unless it's not a church bell, or church kind of place, but oh well. And So yeah, they had all these weird ideas, but they were the main two story kind of ideas instead of characters, I guess. Trust me, it gets weirder for here. So this film so far, I guess the story would have been alright, as long as you kind of make it right and change it up a little bit. Like MJ not being all of interest yet, because, well, we don't want what going to happen to them. But there also was one thing in the story that was going to be cut for the film, or that was going to maybe be in the film, that I guess kind of works, but is this: Peter would use his blood to bring back people. Now this is a problem for me. Number one, if you bring back Gwen's dad, how the hell do you think he's going to react to Gwen basically breaking her back and dying? How do you think he's going to react to that? And number two, Gwen come back. If you're going to have Gwen come back, there's pretty much two problems. Number one, if MJ is Peter's primary love interest in this film, which I hope he wasn't, how is that going to work? I mean, it's kind of confusing. So yeah, that was pretty much cut for the film, which was not the full film, but which is probably a good thing. I don't know where I pulled that for, but alright. And the second problem we're going to come back. If you do that, they're probably going to set up another thing that would lead to another thing and make the universe a little bit too complicated itself. Spider-Gwen. Because if you're using someone's blood to bring them back, they'll probably get spider powers, or at least some of it anyway. Which also raises the question, if that worked, why the hell didn't you just use it in Harry Osborn? Oh, and here's the most interesting bit. Norman Osborn was not the Green Goblin in the film. Harry Osborn was, obviously. But get this. Apparently Norman was still meant to be alive due to his frozen head in this kind of container thing. His plan was to try to get Harry to become the Goblin to steal his body. Makes no sense to me how he's going to get any body. Whoever will do that, which makes no sense. So yeah, that's kind of a few plot twists, but yeah. And the Sinister Six were meant to be in the film, which is another thing to add on, and this was like probably one of the few first rumours, which to me I didn't really believe, which probably wasn't real. The original villains were meant to be members of it, which to me would not make sense. Someone would still be mad at them for getting their birthday. Someone would still be mad for not trying to turn the world into a giant for the lizards. And one just returns for 0 cents. So if you're going to have the Sinister Six, never add them, but okay. That was changed up though, and they were meant to be, well, two of them weren't going to be in it, but one was, the Rhino, and 5 other members were going to be in it. Green Goblin, Kraven the Hunter, the Vulture, Mysterio, Dr. Octopus, and the Rhino, himself. So that's 6. Now, these were kind of shown when the gentleman, or the guy walking into like Harry's cell, somewhat at Ravencroft, he was walking in Oscorp, and you do see some of the Sinister Six's kind of gear, like Dr. Octopus tentacles, which were made by Oscorp and not Dr. Octopus himself, I don't think. Which is different to the Raimi films. I think the tech would be a little bit more powerful if Oscorp made them and not someone, but they still done a pretty good job. So yeah, apparently this room I really don't believe. The Doctor in Amazing Spider-Man 2 wanted to know who Electro was, not Dr. Octopus. This was before Electro died. So what did he do? He locked him in a place with electricity and tested him out. Apparently he was meant to survive and become the Dr. Octopus. I really don't believe that though. Another rumour is, I've already went over this, Mary Jane being the prime love interest for Peter. Makes no sense really to me. Because with the whole Gwen situation. Doc Ock would have probably set up the Sinister Six film, which was going to be probably made after Amazing Spider-Man 3. So you need a movie to set up another film, then to set up another film, then to set up another film. That does not work like that. And Raimi's, you have one film, it sets up the other. And then it goes on from that. You don't need all these standalone films to set up actual films for them. Another rumour is J.K. Simmons was meant to return as J. Jonah, which means no matter what universe you're in, it'd still be the same guy from Raimi. Pretty much. The Clone Saga may be involved, which makes sense if you're going to use all blood storyline. Adrian Toomes would have been the Oscorp Robotics Division engineer. What's next going to make a robot kind of vulture or something? That's probably the idea. Otto Davis is the World Renovion nuclear researcher of Oscorp. Makes sense. Not really though. Kinda, I guess. Venom would have appeared, setting up the Venom film. I guess. Makes no sense. The Spider Slayers would appear, so Spider-Man will have to face Phyllis Gwen Stacy, his father come back, Sinister Six, maybe Venom, Slayers. Wow. How's he meant to fight all that on his own? I have no idea. Kraven the Hunter would have probably been the film's main antagonist. Now, one thing I have noticed, what they're kind of doing, they are taking Marvel Spider-Man 2 is sounding some like Amazing Spider-Man 3, but it'd be way better than the film would have been. Because they have Kraven, Venom, and probably all the rest of the villains. So yeah. Also, the Black Cat would have appeared somehow. Like, actually Black Cat would appear. So yeah. Look how that went. Never happened, did it? Nope. It's kinda sad, but at the same time, probably would have been rubbish anyway. So yeah, the film being cancelled would have probably been a good thing. if they changed it, maybe, then who knows what would have happened. Could it have been better? Could it have been worse? I don't know. But if you are going to make an Amazing Spider-Man 3, change it up. Don't have the same story. Or have Venom in it or something, but don't make it too complicated. There was also meant to be a fourth film. That never happened. Wonder how that would have went. So let's talk about the Sinister Six film now. And oh my god, some of the rumours were kinda weird for this film. So, Jamie Foxx, this is a rumour, probably not gonna happen, was meant to return as Electro. I don't really know how that would work. I mean, the whole Amazing Spider-Man 3 film kinda has to have a new story, honestly, because I guess you could say as soon as Electro dies, the whole thing messes up time. Here's what I don't understand though, right? The Amazing Spider-Man 2 film, I'll admit this was made before No Way Home was a thing, or Tom Holland Spider-Man was a thing. It just kinda complicated thing. The film ends, Electro's dead, and Peter quits being Spider-Man. Then in No Way Home, here's where it gets confusing. He's obviously older, because Toby is as well. So, my question is, did Electro stay, like, in whatever kind of state he was in for, like, what, 7 years or something, without him knowing? And then when it was kind of Andrew's time for No Way Home again, he suddenly appeared? Or, like, after 7 years or something? Apparently, the Rhino and the Lizard were meant to return. Some people wanted, apparently Scorpio and the Sandman were meant to be in it. Shocker was meant to appear as well. Spider-Man was about to make a cameo. The team would have been anti-heroes, but in the Amazing Spider-Man 3, I don't know, they probably would have been villains. Now, apparently there was another. Now, I don't really know if they're saying this like is the original lineup for the comics or the original lineup for the Amazing Spider-Man 3. The lineup would have been different, I think, than the Amazing Spider-Man 3. Some of the villains would have still been in it, apparently, but the new lineup would be Green Goblin, Rhino, Lizard, Black Cat, Carnage, Vulture, and Doctor Octopus. That was changed, who knows. This rumour was fake, but it would have showed a dying Doc Ock mind swapping with Peter, setting up the Amazing Spider-Man 4 as the Superior Spider-Man saga. So yeah, apparently Gog, an interdimensional monster, will be the main antagonist, and yeah, this is confusing. And then we need to talk about the Venom film. Yay! So yeah, here we go. The Venom film. Wrong one. Whip, whip. So yeah, the Venom film. Oh no. That should have been interesting enough. So yeah, there was meant to be two Venom films, one from Sony or Toby's Universe and one from Andrews. Yay! So yeah. All this sounds really confusing. So yeah, I think the film when it came out in 2017 for the Andrews universe. Then there was probably going to be a sequel to that called Carnage. There was maybe a Black Cat spin-off. Then the Amazing Spider-Man 4. Which never happened. Either. I'm gonna end the stream here.